Are we live? Are we doing it live? Okay. I'll wait see if how many people will join. I don't know if anyone's going to join because I haven't been doing these videos for quite a long time. Um but I wanted to share my thoughts on Supergirl. I finally watched it. I'm going to watch it again in the cinemas with my girlfriend this weekend, since she dressed up as Supergirl for Halloween. So it'll be fun to take her. But I wanted to just give my thoughts on the movie and maybe address the large-sized elephant in the room. Now, what a lot of people have been doing about this movie is they've been it's the typical kind of internet trend, and it's why I've kind of for by and large kind of left like doing reviews on this channel. But this is for my boy Superman, and like for Superman, I'll come out like every time I've told you. If I have a view on what's been going on in this kind of sphere of nonsense, I will come out and say my piece, basically on like when it's something to do like Superman related kind of material. And so I watched this movie. I had fairly low expectations of what I was going to see, and I have to tell you, I came out actually relatively pleasantly surprised. Now, maybe it's the reviews. The reviews have been pretty bad, middling. In that sense, I probably was going in thinking I was going to see a horror show of a movie. And I've got to tell you, I've never like been the biggest Supergirl fan. Neither am I even less so am I a James Gunn fan. I am a fan of the director who made this movie, the director who did a couple of indie movies that I really, really like. And I don't know anything about the screenwriter. So I want to address the big elephant in the room. So there are a few elephants in the room with this movie. So much has gone on around this movie that has nothing to do with the quality of the movie, which is why so many of the internet critics, or whatever you want to call them, I'm not a critic. I'm not a movie critic. I haven't gone to film school. I haven't got any qualifications regarding that. I just love movies in general. I love comic books as well. So I like comic books. I like movies. So whenever a comic book movie comes out, I'm quite interested. So one of the big things that has gone on about this film has been the star herself, Millie Alcock. And once again, there's a female lead in some kind of nerd space, and immediately it's attack, attack, attack. People on the men, beta males on the defensive, concerned that she is trying to attack them with every single sentence she says. On and on and on it's been, whether it's calling her ugly for some bizarre reason, even though most of these men who are calling her ugly wouldn't stand even the remotest chance to be with her, and would absolutely 100% want to try it on with her, but be too cowardly and unmanly to be able to even approach a woman who looks like Millie Alcock. But they're there on their thing of, oh, she's ugly, she's the most hideous Supergirl we've ever seen. Okay, whatever, dude. That's your issue. So I don't know why they're doing that. I don't know why they're allowed to spread that on YouTube. I think it's incredibly toxic. Um, I, uh, I just imagine a scenario where, God forbid, Millie Alcock, was not a human being of a kind of stronger temperament, made of sterner stuff, and actually would go out and maybe hurt herself because of all of these things that these appalling individuals are saying about her. And they'd end her, and she'd do something tragic to herself, and it would be entirely their fault. And I would personally hold them to some extent criminally responsible, at least civilly responsible, so her family can sue some of the bigger channels for actually having done this. It's absolutely abhorrent. It's nothing to do with the message of Superman, or if you're a Superman fan or whatever, you should never be bullying someone online for their looks, for features that they cannot change. It's absolutely ridiculous that this has gone on around this film. I've seen actual pictures and images of Millie Alcock looking like some horrific kind of monster or something, and that is the video image that they're showing of Millie Alcock. Oh, sorry, the thumbnail that they're showing to say whether to the thumbnail for their videos on this Supergirl movie. And it's horrible. I don't stand by that kind of bullying whatsoever, and I think it's horrific. That aside, there have been other criticisms that came way before the movie came out, way before anyone had even laid eyes on a single second or frame of this movie, about it being hyper feminist and hyper woke. Another typical thing that's done towards superhero movies. Now, having seen the movie, not that I think that those criticisms are warranted anyway, but having seen the movie, I can tell any man who's thinking about seeing this movie, who's concerned about being offended or that the movie is attacking them, unless you are a male who is A, abusive to women, or B, you are a man who is involved in the trafficking of women, I see no reason why you should be offended by this movie whatsoever, right? Those are the two categories of men. Any other man who decides that somehow they think that they should put themselves in the same, because this movie is not in any way saying all men are like the bad guy. It's not saying every single man is like the bad guy. It's just saying that this guy is a bad guy, and this is the evil, horrible thing that this bad guy does. He does horrible things to women, it's true, but that doesn't mean every man does horrible things to women. You have to be an incredibly sensitive, really just overly looking to be offended, weak, pathetic man, to be quite honest, to take this movie and think that this is an attack on you. So I wanted to get those two things out of the way, and then, having had those two things out of the way, talk about the actual qualities of this movie. So there are a number of things like I want to say. First of all, this is not the antidote to those who say they have superhero fatigue. And quite honestly, I understand why some people do have superhero fatigue, because quite frankly, in my honest opinion, this movie, as good as it's good, it's a good movie, it's a solid movie, should never have been made. That is my issue with the movie. In terms of the DCU, and um, what they should be focused on in terms of launching a new cinematic universe to compete with the universe that just ended. They should really be working on movies of characters that have an iconic status, like Superman, like Batman, like Wonder Woman, pulling those stronger elements together and moving as fast as they possibly can towards a recognizable Justice League, i.e., Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Martian Manhunter, etc. And that is it. Okay, there have been way too much superhero content of characters like Supergirl, like Blue Beetle, like the thousands, Shang-Chi, blah 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 blah. That these superheroes never ever ever should have had movie trilogies, Ant-Man, all of this crap, because they don't have it like that. They don't have worlds that are interesting. They don't have villains that are interesting. They don't have powers that are interesting. And they got stuffed down our throats for years and years and years. And they were mediocre movies. Not only were they movies like about Captain Marvel and all of these idiotic characters that have no business having movies. Not only were they movies that were just pumped into the ether by the MCU, but they were also not very good movies. They weren't interesting movies. So they didn't even take this very poor character and make something great out of them. You know, every once in a while they made an pretty decent movie, like say Black Panther. I would call that pretty decent. You know, where they took a character that people didn't, comic fans didn't really fuck with so much, but they made something out of him, right? So there have been far too many of those movies, and unfortunately, Supergirl trends into that sphere of movie where it's like, why is this movie being made? And that's why I say Supergirl is not it's not the antidote at all to superhero fatigue. Okay, so Supergirl is not the antidote to superhero. Ooh. And I want to make sure that people are hearing me, because I'm not sure if they are hearing me or not. I'm going to double check that everyone can hear before I continue. Okay, good. So it isn't the antidote to superhero fatigue. That being said, is it a good Saturday night out? If you're just feeling like, oh, let me watch a superhero movie. I like superheroes. I'm not incredibly jaded and cynical, because also let's be real about what's going on in the world at the moment, even politically speaking. Superheroes at this specific time, with everything going on in America, everything that we're seeing in the world, they seem silly. They seem fanciful. And I think a lot of these, like He-Man, I heard He-Man was a quite good movie, but I think it's a hard sell at the moment to the rest of the world, who are suffering at the hands of, what's going on. I don't want to go too much into politics, but like what's going on politically, that superheroes are a bit of a hard sell at the moment, like He-Man and, these kind of films. So again, Supergirl falls into that. having said all that, having watched the movie, there are some great elements to it, and there are some James Gunn elements that I don't like. But all in all, I think it was a pretty good movie. And I want to talk about the ending. This is a full spoiler review. And I do want to talk about the ending, and what Supergirl does at the ending, because a lot of people seem to have been offended by that specific act as well. So before I go on to that, let me just go through all the elements of this movie. So um, Supergirl for me is not as good as some of the DCEU movies, right? It's, for me, it's not as good as Shazam, or it's not got as much heart as like Wonder Woman or something like that, or even Shazam 2 or the Justice League, like Zack Snyder's Justice League. But it is really, if it was a DCU movie, it would be like number 5 for me. I'm telling you, I swear to God, I enjoyed this movie more than Superman. I thought this, while it, when it veered into its kind of James, trying to imitate James Gunn a little bit, I wasn't feeling it that much. But when it actually spoke from the actual director, the director of this movie's point of view, I think the movie kind of held together a lot stronger. So some of the elements I really didn't like was the soundtrack. I thought the soundtrack with, once again, going back to that James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy bullshit, fucking let's put on a pop song, whatever. I think if this movie had maybe a little bit more leaned into the score, which wasn't terrible, it wasn't the greatest score in the world, but it was an okay score for Supergirl, I think a lot of the scenes would have popped a lot more. Another thing I didn't love about this movie was I thought it was a little bit muddy, a little bit dark. And I know the theme was of Supergirl herself being in a dark place. So maybe that is why the aesthetic was a little bit dark and muddy. But I didn't love that the imagery was, a little bit muddy, and I would have liked a little bit more of the super, to have come out of that, especially on the Krypton scenes. I think Krypton could have been designed a little bit more of an interesting way. I really there was one other thing I really that really kind of bothered me, is the dog. I don't like the dog. I think the dog is stupid. I really, in the end, it kind of worked out because he actually wasn't in the movie that much, and it was mainly Supergirl, going on an adventure with her friend, who is, I think, Ruthie, in the movie. I haven't read the Supergirl comic, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow comic, so I can't really kind of compare the two in terms of that. But I'll say this: the story is very basic. Supergirl's dog gets poisoned, and she has like a few days to save his life by finding the antidote. Which is antidote, which is on the villain's person. Okay, so the villain has the antidote, and then they go on a big space opera adventure with Supergirl meeting kind of weird creatures from around the galaxy. And for the most part, because she's near on red sun planets, she's weaker. And then as the film goes on, she goes towards a yellow sun, gets her powers, and is able to kind of like save the day. That's it in a kind of nutshell. Now, in terms of Millie Alcock's performance, it was the best performance in the film. She was I mean, embittered and understandably so. Because I think a lot of people, this is lost on them that, Superman was a baby when his planet was destroyed, whereas Kara Zor-El was actually, old enough to see her whole planet go under. And likely, Brainiac has something to do with that, although I didn't enjoy that the movie didn't reference Brainiac at all. I thought that it would have been a good way to kind of set up Brainiac for the villain of Man of Tomorrow. Often he is connected to Supergirl, especially in the animated movies and stuff like this. So um, she sees her whole planet destroyed. So she's a very, very jaded young woman. And she's caught, and this is what the film, I think, is the interesting moral dilemma of the film, is that she's caught between the morality that she sees of her cousin, Superman, who is the eternal optimist, and is caught on the other side between being a very cynical young woman who watched her whole planet go boom when she was younger, and being sent to a completely alien world that she, as of yet, is not invested in the same way that Clark is, right? So she's caught between those two moral kind of extremes of cynicism and his optimism. And so I think a lot of the time, what people don't get maybe about what the movie was doing was that when she was kind of preaching to Ruthie, she was preaching to herself. She was saying to herself, because she wanted to, in some sense, even though she hadn't registered it yet, she admired, Superman's optimism. She admired his way of looking at the world. She admired that he would never take a life. But that isn't her, because of her experiences. Okay. So she goes through, and you see that she has a very different relationship with the idea of killing than Superman does. In fact, she's kind of making the decision of whether she is or she isn't. But at the same time, she's advancing, Clark's principles, because she does admire him in some ways. Okay, so they go on this journey, as I said, and uh, I think, again, it's a pretty basic plot. It's very, very average. We don't, I don't think, again, it's gonna change superhero cinema in some kind of sense. But it's an enjoyable, ride through. The action scenes are very, very good and very well choreographed. That's one thing I can say about James Gunn and what he does well. He does choreograph action in kind of interesting ways, usually, and in ways that are very comic booky as well. They're not like grounded, like, Zack Snyder or Nolan or something like that, or what we've seen in the DC before. They're kind of very, elaborate, kind of comic booky in the way that he, puts together a kind of action set piece. And I thought all the action set pieces were quite exciting in the Supergirl movie. There were a few weird bits that I kind of questioned about the green sun, which was a kryptonite sun, and this kind of thing. But all in all, most of the criticisms that have been levied towards this film, like, oh, how was Supergirl beating up these guys when she's just a, girl with no powers? Well, she did have kind of powers. She had a little bit of powers, not as much as she usually does, but enough to beat up these guys. So none of those criticisms made sense. Or, at the time she was poisoned a little bit. So she was, a little bit weaker, but still had the Kryptonian strength. All of it tracked. There's no great, plot holes in this movie or anything like this. And at the end, she does something. She has a character moment. And I equate it to the same character moment that Batman had in Batman Begins, right at the end, where he lets Ra's al Ghul die, right? And now a lot of people are like, oh, absolutely not. It's Batman. Batman would never like let someone die. He would always save them and whatever. However, this is a movie, okay? And I understand there is comics and there's comic book lore, and it's nice when filmmakers stick to the comic book lore, but this is a film, okay? And for me, I'm judging it therefore as a movie, as a film. And the film sets up, just like in Batman Begins, the moral dilemma that Supergirl has all throughout the film. And it justifies completely what she does at the end. And what's interesting about what she does at the end, when she absolutely kills the villain, is that in fact, it sets up what a conflict her and Superman may have in future. Okay, so in future movies, and it sets up good conflicts, maybe even with Wonder Woman. You know, Wonder Woman only kills when she has to. If they abide by that, then maybe, you know, there'll be multiple conflicts, you know, between the Justice League. So that is interesting. And remember, I am not a James Gunn fan. I do not like even Superman. I thought the criticisms that most people have towards this movie, I have more towards Superman. I would rather watch this movie again than that Superman movie. I've tried to watch that Superman movie again, and it's too goofy for me. Right? It has no serious. This one has at least some kind of serious element to it, and the jokes, they're there, but they're not fast and furious like the Superman movie. It's not like, you know, saving a fucking squirrel and all of this kind of nonsense. I understand Superman likes to save everything, but come on, you know. And then you just, yeah, like it's far less of a mess. It's far more concentrated on Supergirl, this movie, than that movie was concentrated on Superman. That movie was focused on so many different fucking elements. This movie is far more centered on Supergirl, her journey, what she's going through, and how she's going to save this kid. Okay, in the end. Jason Momoa as Lobo, okay. I mean, he did good. I liked Lobo. He wasn't doing anything that is untypical of Jason Momoa to do in a role. So it wasn't this, you know, crazy whatever. I thought Millie Alcock was way better in the movie than Jason Momoa, if we're going to compare the two. But there's no need to. I think they were supporting each other. He was a nice spice in the movie. She was great in the movie. David Cornsweet, Superman. I liked all his scenes. I think he actually came across a little better in this movie than he did in his own movie. The little girl, she was fine. You know, nice little supporting character. The bad guy, he was evil. I didn't like him. Not the greatest thing in the world, not the worst thing in the world either. It's very typical. This is the kind of stuff, the gripes that I have with this movie. Why not just put in a really good villain or a known villain, you know, in the Supergirl movie? It would have been nice to actually have a known villain, you know, from the DC world, rather than this weird villain. I suppose maybe he's in the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic, and maybe that's why they adapted him. But he wasn't particularly interesting. Didn't, you know, yeah, sure, he was like trafficking girls or whatever. I, you know, at least I wanted him to die. Maybe because he wasn't that interesting, but yeah, I wanted him to die. He did a good performance. His performance wasn't terrible. I know he's had some issues legally or whatever, but his performance was fine given what he was given. So effectively, that's it. That's my, you know, breakdown of this movie. I don't. This is not a revolutionary movie, but at the same time, it's not, you know, like it's a solid 8 out of 10 movie. You know, like in terms of, you know, like Is it a good movie or not? Does it have like plot holes? Is it entertaining? Was I bored? Did it have good action? The story is the weakest element, but it's okay. It's a solid 8 out of 10 movie. Nice, like almost even, like by today's standards, kind of family movie. Or at least a movie you can take your slightly older daughter to, maybe over 12, 13 years old to watch. So it's absolutely fine. And again, if you are offended as a man because of this, then I have to say, are you offended because is it like offensive? Because you can only be offended if you are somehow an abusive male or you're a man who traffics women, because this movie is not saying that all men are that. Okay, so let me go on to what everyone said. So it is super mid. Says by what standard? I mean, like, it's as good as most of the MCU movies I see. I don't know, like, you'd have to give me a standard. The script was bad. Again, by most standard, I take from the MCU movies that I see, like Shang-Chi. This is better than Shang-Chi. This is better than I'd say it's better than Black Panther 2. I'd say it's probably even better than Black Panther 1. I would start, it entertained me more. I would say I'd have to look at a list of MCU movies. I like it better than all the Doctor Strange movies. I like it better than the Thor movies. I like it better than a lot of those movies. So I don't know what is the parameter, because if those movies are fucking terrible, then okay, then this movie is mid. That's what I'm getting at. If those movies are horrendous, then okay, this movie is mid. All right, let's see this. The girl was annoying, and why was she British? I don't know. Is that a bad thing to be British? Should she have been from the I don't know, like, should she be Kiwi or something? New Zealand, or would that have made it better? The villain sucked and his lines were garbage, as are most of the villains in these comic book movies. That's no big change. Oh no, man, no, it really didn't justify it. She says so many times revenge isn't the way. Okay, I understand that. Let's come on and chat about it. If you want to come on and chat about it quickly, I've got like another 20 minutes. If you're interested, come on and chat about it. I've said my piece. Glidnor, if you're down, you can come on. It would be nice to say hello to you anyway. As per normal, we are in total disagreement. Hello. Well, that's the beauty of our relationship and society in general. I'll give you a minute. If you don't, I'm gonna kind of shut the stream down. But yeah. So as like it seems as if me and Paul are once again in disagreement. Oh, okay, he's coming in. He's coming in to let me know where I've got it all wrong. Okay, so while he's coming in, there's plenty to dislike about well, no, again, I think I'll be just forcing myself to say things. I'm not a fan of Supergirl. I hate all of the side characters. I dislike. I don't think this movie should have been made. So the fact that I, enjoy it, it's not like some kind of fanboyish thing. I'm just saying it as it is. that's the film I saw. I didn't see this terrible, awful abomination that people are describing. So I'd like somebody to tell me what this abomination was. And I'd like to get my smoking thing. Okay, sorry guys, I'm back. Yeah, can't seem to find my smoking thing, so I'll make this. Well, show me your beautiful face, man. Don't come on and like just show me your beautiful face. Or you don't obviously. Oh, okay, cool, you're there. All right, good.
I'm here.
Nice to see you again, man. It's our Superman.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
I'm going to put the volume down a tiny bit because it's like but dude, let me just say this. Oop. I'm really, really happy to see you. That's what I want to say. It's good to see you.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I love to hear what you say. Tell me, what do you have to say?
I ranted about this in a Discord window after I watched it, but like, here's the thing. I'll cut it off this way. I don't think anything was wrong with Millie's acting in this.
I thought she was great.
She did have a derp face the entire movie. Like, I've seen her in House of the Dragon.
You mean
so like in House of the Dragon, she just had this like blank face on the entire time, not a lot of emotion going on. And I've seen her in House of the Dragon, and she's a good actress. So when I saw her in this movie, it was like, I
don't think she was. I think she was playing what they wanted. Like, there's an underlying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so for me,
imagine you saw your whole planet destroyed. It's not like.
Yeah, but she didn't. Like, that's the thing. She didn't. She was born after it was destroyed, man. They changed her entire origin story. Yeah, in the movie, they changed her entire origin story. She's younger than Clark, not older than him, like she is in the comics.
Oh, and that bottle thing.
They make the bubble thing, and then she's born like 6 months later. Yeah.
Oh, that's stupid.
So they changed her entire origin. This is the biggest. My biggest gripe with this film is she starts in a place, right? And she ends in the same place. She hasn't learned anything by the end of this film. She hasn't evolved in any way. It's a pointless movie. It's pointless. Nothing happens to her character that actually drives her forward in any way or shape.
Okay,
that's the problem with this film. That's the fundamental problem with the writing of this movie.
Let me address that. Okay, so there's two elements. Okay, so the one element is she didn't go anywhere, which I will agree. Maybe that is a legitimate criticism of the movie.
In fact, I'd say she got worse because killing him at the end, that's the worst part of it.
There's the second element. Is it an entertaining movie? Is it altogether an entertaining movie? And that, for me, personally, I don't see half of the criticisms that people were kind of like savaging this movie with being so dreadful.
People would do that.
Level.
I'll run it off for you. I'll run off the major points, the major issues of the movie for me, right? So these are the major reasons. There are editing issues. They didn't give motivation for the characters. Like, they killed the family at the start for that little girl, right? But they don't show any backstory to the family, why they're good, why we should root for her, why we should care, right?
If your family gets killed in front of
it's also a stupid reason to kill. Hang on, stop. I'm running them off. You can note them down, right? Make a mental note. So there's that. Kara is the angsty person from the 2010s we've seen so many times with female heroines. Like, I get it, Woman of Tomorrow, the comic it's based on, right? She is the same way, but the biggest issue with the difference between the two is that she actually develops a Woman of Tomorrow and becomes a non-revenge seeking hero by the end of it. At the end of this movie, she kills the son of a bitch, right? For like, instead of the other person, she stops her from taking revenge. She says to her, literally says to her, revenge isn't the way.
Let's face it.
She literally says to her, revenge isn't the way, and then kills him. It's stupid. It's a fundamental flaw.
Should he have been killed?
No, because in the comics, he's not.
No, wait a second. Why? Dude, where was he going to go? Was he going to go to some space prison? What was he? What were they going to do with him?
Here's some issues with this.
Harming other women.
As the comic was based on. No, so as the comic it was based on, they aren't sex traffickers. This is a weird choice in this movie, right? Firstly,
okay, fine, whatever. Like
he's actually not. He's actually not an ugly dude in the comics. He's actually this really suave, good-looking fella. And by the end of it, she puts him in the Phantom Zone, and they show him rehabilitated after 15 years, contemplating why he did what he did in the Phantom Zone. Right?
I'm not talking about the comic. I'm talking about the movie. In the movie, he was.
So I'm comparing too. So I'm telling you critiques.
Should he have been killed in that character in the movie? Should he have been killed?
Because it's a fundamental
wrong to let that guy just continue like going around.
No, put him in the Phantom Zone. They could have put him in the Phantom Zone. They could have made that choice.
Okay, so I've got a question. Okay, so I get the criticism you're making about Kara's decision, but I do think that throughout the movie, it actually it showed her trying to. Whether what she believed, it was like it actually developed that. So for instance, when people compare it to Man of Steel, my problem with Man of Steel is nowhere in the movie does he even say anything about what this Superman, not Superman in general, this Superman's attitude towards killing is. So when he kills Zod at the end, it's like, well,
it's laughable.
Why didn't you just do that in the beginning?
It's
right?
Dumb.
Like,
after 100 9/11s, he suddenly decides to kill him. So it's stupid.
In this movie, she's actually questioning, and it comes up, and she talks about it. And my interpretation of the end was that even though she is so jaded that she is willing to kill this person, she knows the damage it will do to a person in general and doesn't want that damage to be inflicted on that little girl. She'd rather that girl, that's why she tells her to go away, and she doesn't want her to see it, and she doesn't kill him in front of her.
She does that.
And I don't even think
she does that in the comic too, man, and then she puts him in the Phantom Zone. That's the thing. This is the problem.
Fair enough.
The end of the movie, she flies back to Earth. There's no.
But that's an interesting.
It's not interesting because there's no motivation in this movie. There's no character motivation.
The motivation was all through the film. She was like, "Look, if you, I'm dark."
She didn't want anything to do with that kid. Half the movie, she was trying to leave that kid behind. In fact, she literally pushes her to leave her behind, so she flies conveniently to that half kryptonite sun planet. One of the worst. Oh, dude, the plot devices in this movie to depower her are ridiculous. She uses super speed one time in the film at the end, man, which is in a terribly lit Mad Max Timu light action sequence that looks like it's the cutting room floor of a Zack Snyder film. Like, it is one of the worst action sequences ever put to film.
No,
the fact that she
one of the worst.
She gets shot with kryptonite arrows again, right? How does she recover? It's dark. You can't see what's happening. And then they put the little sound at the top. Dude, it is literally Captain Marvel 2.0.
You think it was
It's Captain Marvel. Dude, it's Captain Marvel 2.0. That's what it is. Crappy songs. Crappy songs put over terrible action sequences. I'm a sad girl. I'm this, I'm that. That's what it is. It's Captain Marvel 2.0.
Those songs were fucking awful. I don't know who came up with doing those songs. And actually, when I heard the score, the actual score that they were going with for Supergirl, I thought it was all right. I didn't think it was the best score I've ever heard in the world.
Yeah. The music ruins it, though.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
They shouldn't have done that stupid James Gunn bullshit, and I hate it.
Well, no, it's not even that, man. This is what you get when you take a writer who has only one credit to their name, and it's from 8 years ago. This is what happens.
That writer who had one credit to her name did a lot better job than half the MCU movies.
Nah, well,
it's better than Ant-Man.
Dude,
It's better than Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man, the first movie. Ant-Man, the first movie. This isn't grossing anything. It opened lower than Morbius.
I don't care what the gross is. I'm talking about the quality of the movie. It is better than Ant-Man.
The quality of the movie reflects in the box office. Dude, the quality of the movie.
Would you rather watch?
It doesn't matter. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about individual opinions here. I'm talking about
this. Of course, there's been a whole
I wouldn't watch this movie again. I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp twice. I wouldn't watch this movie again. Yeah, I've watched it twice.
Then you're a lunatic. You ought to be put in a lunatic
this movie is, dude. This movie is boring. Nothing happens in this film.
Like, one of those spinning propeller hats and shit like that. Dude,
I have a question for you.
Okay,
objectively,
go.
Right? Objectively, Ant-Man at the start of Ant-Man and the Wasp and Ant-Man at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp is a different character, right? He goes through things and it makes his character grow. Is that correct? Objectively. Objectively, he grows as a character.
I don't care
by the end of the film. Hang on. No, I'm not talking about individual. I'm talking about him. I'm talking about objectively as a film character analysis. Ant-Man is a different character by the end of that film. Is that a correct statement? Is that a correct statement? No, man. Just answer that question. Just answer that question.
Okay, it's a correct statement.
Okay, all right. So now, hang on. Let me draw it. Hang on before. Maybe I need to draw.
I'm going to ask you a question back.
Okay, you asked me a question, but I need to draw the conclusion that I'm trying to make.
You hold that mental check in your head. Are you saying every movie that where a character has not had a journey, where at the beginning of the movie they are one thing, but by the end of the movie they've developed, is a bad movie?
Yep. So if there's no character development, what's the point?
What about American Psycho?
Yeah, he's developed by the end, man. He realizes what he is. Dude, he starts off as a businessman. He starts off as a businessman, and no, he's not. He's escalating and murdering people, and then you don't know whether he doesn't even know, and the audience doesn't know whether it was in his head or was it was reality. That's the point of that film. He's a psychopath. You don't know whether it happened in his head or whether it was in the thing.
There are plenty of movies where the person starts in the beginning one way and ends in at the end of the movie the same way. Pretty much.
They're not really great.
And they
really
are
great movies.
Okay, let me throw you another one. What about let's say do you like that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal where he's recording car accidents and violent
Nightcrawler?
Do you like that movie?
I watched it. I think I watched it earlier, this year, sometime 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago for the first time. It was okay, but he's still a different character at the end of the film. He develops. Dude, if he escalates, if he changes, he's
psychologically, he does not develop.
Yes, he is. He's developed because he has. He develops. It literally develops.
He's making media empire, but that's it.
Yes. He does. He blackmails people. He escalates. He changes. Yes, he does, man. This is a cool character development over the movie. Otherwise, we wouldn't have. What's the point of watching? So you're saying this is my point. Hang on. I get to ask a question now. I get to ask a question now. Now I'm going to draw my conclusion. Kara at the start of this movie is a drunk. We see her piss like 3 times in this film for God knows what fucking reason, right? Stupid fucking scenes in this movie that it actually made me angry. What's the point of these movies? Oh, she's taking a piss. Who cares, right? She's a drunkard, irresponsible lunatic who doesn't give a shit about anything except for a dog, right? And she's the same at the end, man. She doesn't give a shit about anything. And she flies back home. She flies back home to Earth. Why? No one knows why. She left Earth because she didn't feel like she belonged there. Why did she fly back? Why did she belong there? There's no character development. There's nothing that tells you in this movie. Hang on. There's nothing that tells you. No, man. She goes back home. I challenge you to find anywhere in this movie where it shows that she has a longing to go back to be with her cousin, who she treats like shit in the movie.
So she basically treats like shit and doesn't want to go back to him because she doesn't want to.
Why does she go back at the end? That's my question. Find it in the movie. What motivation?
She doesn't want to face his optimism and hope and whatever. And for whatever reason, that journey that she goes through during the film shows her that she can actually do some good with her powers. She can actually be some kind of hero with her powers. Maybe she's not going to be
the editing is so bad in this film.
Hero. Maybe she's not going to be the exact same type of hero as Superman, but she is going to do some heroic things. She sees that it's not just about her, and she can do something with her powers. So she does change in the movie.
No, because man, we have it. The editing is so bad in this movie that at one point she says to that little girl who's so annoying, who literally is a stage actor and should learn get some acting lessons.
Look at the guy in black.
I'm going to articulate.
The little kid in Black Adam.
Sword. By the way,
that kid's annoying. This kid was not annoying.
No man. Why do we have a sword in space where there's pistols and guns and explosives? What's the motivation to be a sword maker in space? Why be a master sword maker in space on an alien planet?
It's comic book bullshit.
Oh wait, so hang on. So for the purposes of argument now, we're going to base it on the comic. Is that what we're doing?
No, I'm not.
Because if they base the comic,
I'm talking about comic book bullshit in general. Swords are cool.
No, because it doesn't matter. In a movie universe,
why do we have a bow and arrow? Okay,
no man. Stop pivoting it away. We're talking about Supergirl. I'm not going to answer any questions about Marvel. I'm talking about Supergirl.
We have a guy with a bow and arrow.
Supergirl.
Why do we have a guy with a bow and arrow in Marvel?
Doesn't matter. I'm going to take you back to it.
Supergirl with a sword. Why do we have a guy?
I'm asking you a question. What's the point? What's the point? If we, you know what would have been good, no man. You know what would have been good. You know what would have been good, no man. If they said, "Oh, this sword is like the sword maker," you know what would have been good if they showed her family
with a bow and arrow.
If we showed her family, right, and why they make the swords,
superior technology, and men with iron suits. Why do we have a guy with a bow and arrow?
No, man. If we actually had an explanation that he put stuff in the sword that could cut a Kryptonian or something like that, right? Then it would actually make sense to have swords in space.
If we had an explanation,
right? He's a master sword.
Bow and arrow has something where it can you shoot into Iron Man or Thor's. You know,
he does. He's Ant-Man, and Ant-Man goes inside of his armor in the middle of
cool.
Civil War.
Yeah,
but anyway,
cool story, bro. Cool.
Yeah, it shows Hawkman's actual abilities as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. This one, at least, dude, you might say it's comic book ridiculousness, and I can agree with you that it's comic book ridiculousness, right? Okay, but they explain what he is. They explain he's an agent, that he actually helped Romanoff escape her Russian Red Ledger, that he actually has abilities outside of shooting a bow and arrow, that he's an expert marksman, right? They actually explain that stuff. They don't explain why there's a master swordsman. No, man, they give us no reason to care about her family whatsoever. There's no backstory to her family. There's nothing. We don't care about this character because they give us no reason to.
Family. You just said the character's annoying and you just want to get on with the action.
Because there's no reason for her to be in this movie.
I thought she was fine. I didn't love her. I didn't hate her. I just was like,
there's no reason for her to be in this film. Why we should, as the audience, dude, I'm the reasons why no one's going to see this film and why it's getting so many. You're like, why is there so much hatred for this? I'm telling you why. Because the editing is bad. Because the script is. Hang on, let me write it all off, okay?
And we can, before it came out.
Hang on, let me write it all off. Uninterrupted.
Thumbnails with her as a monster.
The script is bad. Okay. The script is bad. The editing is bad. The directing is bad. The screen.
The script is this worse than Venom?
The script is bad.
Is this worse than Venom?
The screenwriting is bad. The cinematography is terrible. Okay, it's dark most of the movie. You don't know what's going on. I'm not comparing it. I'm telling you what's wrong with it. Okay.
So if you're not going to compare it, then you can't put it in context of why people are assaulting this movie.
Okay.
Why are they not?
Okay, we can actually. We can, no, man, because we can go. What is good? Hang on, let me just show you. What is good character?
Say, oh, he's ugly. His face is fucked, right? And put thumbnails of him as this ugly fucking guy and cyber bully him online and say, oh, why are you saying that Venom is?
We can literally talk about cinema in these, we can talk about cinema in these scopes. It's really easy. So if we take one part of cinema and we go, okay, character development. Okay, so for character development and for an audience to be behind an audience, for the audience to get behind a character, you have to have some sort of connection to their humanity. You have to some connection to who they are as a person. We have to root for them. We have to root for them in some way. So when we talk about this young girl, we don't have any character development other than her family was murdered in front of her. We don't have any reason why her father was a master swordsman. We don't have any reason why they were hunting his weapons, right? Why they're important. We don't have any motivation. We have no motivation because she's in the. Why do we need it? Why do we need it? Because it's an undercarriage of what makes a good character, Nerdman. This is one of the issues with this movie. The other issue is Kara.
They have loads of movies like this. I don't understand. There's loads.
Why are we talking about loads of movies? I don't care about other movies. We're talking about Supergirl.
Where you just have a character come in and you see their family killed, and that's enough. Look, fucking Leon, for God's sake. Leon the professional. You don't see so much of that family like before, like they get killed. You get it. The girl gets killed. The girl's family gets killed, and she wants revenge on the fucking guys who did it. It's that simple. We don't need this big fucking rigmarole of
we do because they make so much about it. We do because you missed my second point.
Bullshit. Even in Star Wars,
because we're talking about Superman. You're going off point. You're going off point. You're going off point. We're talking about Superman with Supergirl.
Do we see Luke's family?
We're talking about Supergirl. I'm not answering these questions about other movies. We're talking about Supergirl. Address my issues with the cinema of Supergirl.
These are movies that you like and you justify.
I didn't say I like them.
And then suddenly it's Supergirl, and it's like
justify what? I haven't justified.
See more of the family or this. Why did we need to? Her family got killed.
Because I just told you why. Because of character motivation, we need to be rooting for something in the character.
Again, Luke's family gets killed in Star Wars. Do we see like loads of them like before they get killed?
We see many interactions between him and his uncle and his auntie. What are you talking about?
Come on, bro.
Dude, we see him go out and buy the droids. We see them have dinner together. We see him argue about it with his uncle about joining the rebellion. We see how.
That's probably why I don't remember it. But anyway, go.
No, man, you just admitted that you don't remember it, but there's a bunch of backstory that's given to these characters.
There's a bunch of backstory.
When he comes back, and you see them dead,
you're gaslighting me on this, but like I'll go watch it again to see if there's loads of story on Luke and his family before they die, because I don't remember them at all.
Well, yeah, you need to watch Star Wars. But in any case, what I'm talking about is Supergirl, not Star Wars. And in this, the reason why we need to understand is because she has a sword. Go with me, all right? Don't argue with me, just go with me. They come to that house for his weapons, correct?
All right.
The Grievers or whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah, they come for the
and they literally discuss amongst themselves, we'll just give them the weapons and they'll leave, right? So they're coming for these weapons, their swords, right? We need to know why these swords are valuable, because they have guns and blasters. And you show at the end, he has literally a kryptonite dart system on his arm that he invented to kill Kryptonians. I'll tell you one thing I didn't get we need to understand. No, let me finish. We need to understand why that happened. But you know what the writer does? It goes, no, just go with it. Who gives a shit why they come in for the weapons?
I'll agree with you on that. Right? I'll agree with you. It was 2 minutes of the movie, but I'll agree with you. What I didn't understand is I would have thought that he came for the women. That would have made more sense. That the swords were just an excuse.
But he came for the swords. But he came for the swords specifically because they said, we'll give him the swords.
What the sword guy said, the swordsmith, I think what he said is he had a whole whatever full of like these weapons, like it was all sorts of shit that he had back there. So you saw that it was a sword, but there was a bunch of other stuff, so who knows what that stuff was and why it may have been of use to them. So I don't know, but again, I don't really justify everything in this movie. When you say this movie is mid, I'm willing to agree with you, as long as you also agree that then
I don't think it's mid. I think it's worse than mid. I didn't say it's mid.
80% of the MCU movies are also mid, or if not worse, because I think this movie is more entertaining than a lot of MCU movies.
Yeah, but I didn't call this mid. Do you want to know my rating for this is?
2 out of 10.
Do you know what my rating for this?
2.
Yeah, it's 1. A 2 out of 10. And you know why the 2 is there?
Why?
Because David Corenswet shows up and actually acts like Superman.
I think this is better than the Superman movie. You're
insane. Again,
Thank you.
Your takes are insanity.
Thank you. This was
insane.
More enjoyable to me than the Superman movie. At least it was focused.
Why?
At least it was focused on Supergirl, as opposed to the Superman movie, which wasn't even focused that much. It
wasn't focused on Supergirl. It was focused on some weird Japanese chick on an alien planet that had a sword of her father that wanted vengeance. That's what the show. That was the movie's about. That's what the movie's about, man. The movie's about that.
Focused on Superman. That was like a team up movie if I've ever seen one. It had a Hawk Girl. It had this person.
What's the?
That person,
you mean half the Justice League? Yeah, who are on the planet? Yes, they're on the planet at the same time. Yeah,
and it focused a lot more on them. It even focused a bit more on Lex Luthor.
It developed a lot. It had to do a lot of things, and it did it well.
Superman didn't even save the day in the end, really, with the kid who was like, "Oh, Superman." Fucking Green Lantern comes along. The Green Lantern with the haircut.
That's because they could handle it. Superman was fighting Ultraman, dude.
Saved the day in her own movie.
He didn't. She did not save the day at all. Lobo did, man. He was dead if Lobo didn't show up. You forget who shot with the kryptonite darts?
Okay, Lobo gave an assist.
Lobo saved the day.
Have an assist, but she was there. Superman wasn't even there. The kid
and by the way, can we just talk about, dude? Can we talk about one other thing, please? Why? What? Can I ask a question? Go. Why weren't there half pregnant women inside those tanks? I mean, this is breeding women here. They're breeding them.
True. There's details, yeah. There's a lot of details missing. I don't think this was, as I said this. If you've got superhero fatigue, even though you're a comic book fan, I don't know why you'd have superhero fatigue. I love comic books. I love movies. If there's a comic book movie, I'll watch it. I love superheroes. So
it depends on what kind of movie it is, man. If it's Captain America, Brand New Day, yeah, I've got comic book fatigue. Yeah.
Okay.
But if it's like Deadpool and Wolverine, no, I don't have comic book fatigue.
But if you've got this thing that's been catching on, superhero fatigue, then this is not the antidote for that. I've already said that. This is absolutely not the antidote. In fact,
clearly, because it's not making any money, dude. No one's seeing it.
Worse. But
no one's going to watch this film.
Bunch of other shit. I would say the main reason, even though these, like internet trolls, not you, of course, I'm not talking about you.
I know who you're talking about, yes. I don't think they have as much power as you and Mike think they do, to be honest. Shout out to Mike.
No, I don't think they do either. I really don't.
This is what happens. Because I'm telling everyone not to see this at the cinema. I'm saying wait for streaming. It's people like me that go into the movie going, because I came out of Superman loving that movie. I went into this movie wanting it to be good. I didn't watch any reviews of that, about this movie. I just went in and watched it. I saw it. I did not like it. I found problems with the editing, with the acting, with the character, and all the rest of it, right? And I'm telling other people, don't waste your $22 a ticket to go see this trash.
Only reason I'm going to go and watch this in cinemas
Masters of the Universe, a Fast and Furious film.
Watch this in cinemas with my girlfriend, honestly, is just because another thing I'll agree with you. I don't think Supergirl should have been made. Period. That's one thing. I think that
it should have been Wonder Woman, man. That should have been the next movie.
It should have been Wonder Woman. That is an IP at this point in time.
No one cares.
At this point in the universe, no one gives a fuck about Supergirl. Yeah. Why are you?
It's not that. It's not that. It's what this movie's based around. This angsty woman who hates the world. Nihilistic superheroes are done.
I think if there was a good Supergirl movie, if there was a genuinely good Supergirl movie in cinemas, it still wouldn't make that much money. Facts.
It would make more than what it's making, though, because I wouldn't be like...
Maybe it would have made more than this one, but it wouldn't make that much money. True story, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with you.
It's not the right thing to have done. That is my main issue. Like
it's
with
weird.
this movie, it's a bad choice.
Development choice.
So
Yeah.
Going back to what you were saying, sorry, just because the only reason I will go and see this movie in cinemas is because my girlfriend dressed up as Supergirl for Halloween, and I think she'd get a kick out of watching a Supergirl movie. And I wanted to check it out to see if it was half decent before she watched it. And I was like, okay, fine, it's half decent. Because the last time I went to a superhero movie with her, it was absolutely god awful garbage, and I had to like kind of apologize and say sorry for being a superhero fan. So,
are you serious, man? Superman is far superior to anything DC's put out in years. What are you talking about?
No,
at least you walked out of the cinema.
Absolutely not.
I'll tell you this. And he was hopeful. At least you were hopeful, man. At least he was hopeful. He was hopeful. Dude, admit this. Was he Superman?
Even if you want to put this Superman above this Supergirl, which I think they're at least equal in quality, if not, I don't know, whatever. Like, okay, I'll give you that. There's an argument to be made that this movie, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, is fucking better than Superman. Shazam is better than Superman. I think Wonder Woman's better than Superman. Fucking 2026. You know what? This is a weird fucking thing for me to say because I absolutely hate this movie. I actually would rather watch Man of Steel.
Hyperbolic.
I would rather watch Man of Steel again than that Superman.
No. Okay, no, man. All right. Shh, for a moment. You're telling me, right?
I like it less.
That you think,
I would rather watch that again.
You preference Kent saying maybe you should have let those children drown over him having that emotional moment with his father, where his father says, "I'm proud of the man you've become." You think you think Man of Steel did better with Kent than it did with Superman?
No, it's nothing to
do
with
now. Next question. You think that? Do you think that? Do you think
I prefer the aesthetic of Man of Steel to the aesthetic? I think
you prefer the dark aesthetic. I'm gonna send you a video. I'm gonna send you a video. I'm gonna send you a video on Messenger where they reverse the colors of Man of Steel and Superman, and they reverse the music to show you the comparison of how dark Zack Snyder's Superman actually is.
Please do. I'd actually be terribly dark.
It's really interesting as a thought experiment and a music experiment. It's really interesting to watch the first flight scenes because that's what he does. He changes the first flight scenes of both movies and changes the color grading, and he changes the music over. And I'm telling you, man, it's a really interesting thought experiment.
If you ask me which character do I like more, I like the character for Superman 2026 much more than I like the character from Man of Steel.
Thank God I haven't. That's a base take. Thank you for admitting. I was like, God damn.
The aesthetic of the movie, I find it less grinding. Like, even like, fucking Lex Luthor going, like talking through the mug. Like when Superman's asking him it's so juvenile and childish, and it's like, why are two adult men having this fucking conversation?
What do you mean?
It's ridiculous. And when Lex Luthor's like, I don't know where your dog is, and he goes, your dog's and it's like, wait a second. First of all, Superman has
comedy
hearing. Superman has
comedy, something that
so he would have heard that. Okay, so let me make this clear so that everyone understands.
No, man,
I prefer Christopher Reeve's original Superman to both those pieces of shit garbage media of Superman. Okay, so both of those movies, Superman 2026 and Man of Steel, are in the same kind of thing as me, but if I'm just talking about what I'd rather just put on in the background and just like, zone out to,
not watch,
I'd probably watch Man of Steel over that Superman because I'm just like, it physically annoys me. Just the irritating little bits of juvenile crap.
You mean so you mean Superman jumping over an old tanker and letting it explode behind him for the cool look? Hang on. So you think men jumping over a tanker and explode behind him into a building full of people for the cool look? That's a better Superman film. You think letting him demolish the entire Metropolis city, 100 9/11s, is
it's
a Superman film,
at least,
dude. At least
I like
heard you complaining at the start of this. Dude,
I
no, wait. I heard you
Independence
complaining
Day,
about him saving a squirrel at the start of this thing, man. At least Superman's saving people in this movie.
Dude,
At least he's
I like
saving people,
disaster
man.
movies, right? Do you know I like you don't know I like disaster movies. I like Independence Day, I like 2012. So at least I can just see mass destruction in Man of Steel, and I can kind of enjoy it for that. Like, it's like, even though it's Superman doing it and it's horrible, you know, like, but I like mass destruction when I see it in movies. It looks fucking cool. So in that sense, again, I'd rather watch that. I understand. Look, don't get me wrong. I get it. It's more of a Superman. It's that movie 2026 more represents, even in a highly, highly superficial sense, more what Superman is than Man of Steel represents what Superman is. Absolutely, 100%. But is it that much a better movie? I don't know, because it's so shallow. It's so goddamn shallow.
How is it shallow?
I wanted
literally
the
conversation
passion.
about how
I wanted
has a conversation with Lois.
the passion that went into the Batman going into Superman as a character.
No, I don't want that. I don't want that.
But the passion, the pure passion.
Are you serious, man?
For the
Matt
comic,
Reeves is Batman. Are you talking about the Batman by Matt Reeves?
The Batman by Matt Reeves is dripping with passion for Batman and thinking.
Not much action in that movie,
Batman
though.
Is as
not much
character.
Action.
I don't care.
Dude, it's different. They're different. No. You think that Superman isn't passionate? He has a whole thing at the end where he talks about what it is to be a human to Lex, that these idiots online mock because they're Snyder idiots, right? But he literally talks about what it is to be a human to Lex Luthor and how he has hope for him and his humanity. Hang on. No, man, that is Superman. That is the big blue Boy Scout.
No, you know
that
what,
is quintessential Superman.
Superman versus the Elite is Superman. That's what I want to see in
Superman
cinema.
is this in space. Well, Lois is
you're not even listening to me. Either you're not listening or you realize that I'm right, and so you're trying to like fuck. Superman versus the Elite, that animated film, that is a Superman movie I want to see in cinemas in live action.
Yeah, they're not going to adapt a comic book. Clearly, adapting comic books straight out of the comic, though, man, because they didn't copy Woman of Tomorrow at all. They copied little parts of it and then changed your entire character.
I didn't read Woman. I don't want. Why am I going to read Supergirl? I don't give a fuck about Supergirl. Like,
yeah, but that's that's why this movie. I agree with you. It's a bad choice. But if you're gonna do a Supergirl movie, at least make it good. And this movie doesn't even reach that bar.
To be fair, from the little I know about Supergirl, and it maybe just from the animated stuff, she is a little bit angry. She is a little bit like more like
that's Woman of Tomorrow. They adapted that comic for this movie, right? But they didn't do any character development. You know, like
so maybe she's going to develop more in the DCU. Maybe that's what they're saying. They're not like, we're going to start off with her being the hero.
Don't forget, it's a stupid suit. End quote. That's Supergirl. It's a stupid suit. Next scene, she's wearing it.
In the movie.
No, she's dying on that kryptonite. No, she's dying on that kryptonite planet, right? And she's like, it's just a stupid suit. No, man. The next scene, the yellow sun comes up. She's wearing it, and it's so dumb. The editing in this movie, if you can't admit the editing in this film is sorely disappointing. They link scenes together. They don't link scenes together, man. They don't link any. It's like a bunch of scenes.
So you think there should have been a scene where she realizes that the suit means something to her or something like that?
Okay, I want to pitch something to you. I'll pitch something to you.
Okay.
Imagine for a second.
I've got to go in 10 minutes, but like
I'll pitch this to you. Imagine for a second, right? When she does the flashback to Krypton blowing up, she's actually a little girl and she sees it explode inside of the bubble, right? She grows up, right? And she sees Clark going off in the distance and she's like, 15. right? Or something,
Yeah.
right? She sees the destruction of a planet.
Yeah.
She's depressed. She watches her mother die of kryptonite poisoning, right? And then her father's like, "You've got to leave, otherwise you're going to die too." So he shoots her off, right? And then she comes to Earth and sees this guy. I'm Superman, blah blah blah. And she's like, "You don't know nothing, man. I watched the planet just get destroyed. I am not happy. I don't feel at home here." She goes off into the universe to find her home. Now that is a character motivation that is not seen in this film at all.
Yeah, that's much better.
See what I'm saying? And I did that in 2 minutes.
I've told you this stuff before. I've told you this stuff before in other movies. You know,
I'm saying that's like, character, but I'm saying that's character motivation, man.
And these fucking pieces of shit in Hollywood. I know that. I get it.
Can we ask the question? We got to ask the question here. Why did James Gunn? Why did James Gunn hire this woman? This person?
Awful fucking comic book movies that have come.
Let's ask this question though. Why is the head of the DCU hiring a person who has one writing credit to her name from 8 years ago? And by the way, she's pitched to write the Teen Titans movie and the Wonder Woman movie. Man, you think she's writing those films now? You think she's writing them on the back of this success? I don't think she's
going to write, and it's stupid because maybe if she had done a Wonder Woman movie first, then a Supergirl movie, then maybe.
No, my point is that she shouldn't have been hired to write anything. They should have got a trusted writer to write this character.
On the ether, tell me what you think of this, because what I've heard on the ether is this fucking moron, James Gunn, wants to adapt Absolute Wonder Woman. You know, the Absolute Universe. He wants to adapt Absolute Wonder Woman as the main Wonder Woman in the DCU. So that's why he came up with that stupid thing where he was like, "Oh, you know, like people, comic book fans get hung up on whether Batman has the yellow thing or Superman has some other like, you know, like thing that is pretty irrelevant." And then he compared that to Wonder Woman's origin being of clay, which is actually very central to her character.
That's great.
And it's probably why the last franchise got capsized, because they went with the stupid Zeus New 52 origin. And none of her stories, none of her good stories relate back to Zeus. They all relate back to that clay origin. So they had nothing to fucking adapt.
So we're doing Absolute Wonder Woman with the big berserk sword. That's what you're talking about.
They want to do the Absolute Wonder Woman with the big berserk sword, and who comes from hell. And it's like, are you fucking mental?
Why? Why?
Insane?
Just escaped the darkest universe. We just escaped the darkest universe. Why are we going back in there?
Why would you like? Because it could be a good idea down the line if the DCU works, which is probably not going to work. To actually go, oh yeah, what if Darkseid wins, and then for a couple of movies we do the Absolute Universe, right? Like Darkseid wins, creates the Absolute Universe, and then you have all the, you know, like you can do movie versions of those characters. No, we're gonna put one of those characters in with the normal. It's like you learn nothing. It's crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, you know that the rumor is that Adria Arjona is the Wonder Woman casting.
In Man of Tomorrow. Well,
I don't like that choice.
I don't know her. I just know how
she's from Andor.
Is she a better actress than Gal Gadot, at least?
She is a better actress. I'll give you that. The problem is, man, is that she doesn't. They pick Thor, right? So they go Chris Hemsworth, buffed up, 6 foot, whatever, massive dude. That's who Thor embodies, right? They give him the long hair, they give him the hammer. He looks like Thor. Wonder Woman, they're picking these stick figure women, right? Like, this is not Wonder Woman. It's not her body type. Why can't they find actresses that actually have the physique, right, to fill out the suit?
She's not muscular though. She's not muscular, Wonder Woman. She's
she's curvy, man.
Olympic level.
Yes, she looks like a Greek, like a Spartan woman.
No, I wouldn't say Spartan. I think Olympian. Like you take your average Olympian woman and like that shows, but not muscly. Like she's still got to be feminine and beautiful. I mean, but she's blessed. But she still has beauty. To have. That's one of her blessings. By the So
I just don't want another. I don't want another suit that bulks out the figure thing. that they did in Wonder Woman. I don't like it.
Yeah,
it's
no, I
obvious.
always thought that Gal looked a little bit on the thin-ish side.
Anemic, man. Yeah.
But I think she worked out for the most part. I think it was the only thing she was good at is Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman 84, did that work out for her?
Wonder Woman 84 was bad.
But that
was not her fault.
You have to do it.
That was not her fault.
Her acting is pretty bad in that film, man.
The only thing that was her fault in Wonder Woman 84 is that if she was sensible and she cared about her career at all, knowing that the only thing that made anybody interested in her as an actress or whatever is the fact that she was Wonder Woman, she would have looked at that piece of garbage script and said, absolutely fucking not.
Yeah.
You fix the script.
Yeah, then I'll do it.
We don't do this because you're gonna mess up like the character, and like she.
Like, bring up a picture of.
I would have thought, especially after Wonder Woman, she was getting all of these movie roles and whatever. Maybe she got too high on herself and thought, oh, it's because it's me and I'm such a. No, it's because you're Wonder Woman, chick. You better, and you're not a good actress, so you need Wonder Woman, bro.
Yeah. She needed Wonder Woman more than Wonder Woman needed her. Yeah, no, but look at DCU Slate, man. DCU Slate is now they've got Clayface, right? And they've got which they're making a horror movie or something. But dude, that's the Matt Reeves look, man. Look and feel. That trailer feels like the Batman universe. Like,
well, it's Clayface, mate. Like, at least do someone half decent if you're gonna do a villain movie.
But it's without Batman. So how does it work?
Cares about, even it's Mr. Freeze. Dumb to me. I mean, even Mr. Freeze would have been all right. Do you know what I mean? Do a Mr. Freeze movie in it,
well, it would have been good. But why do villain movies without the hero, man? Clayface becomes Clayface because of just like Joker. Batman basically creates most of his villains. Like, this is the thing. It's like they're doing a Sony thing where they're like, let's make a Morbius movie. Let's make a Hunter movie.
I did like Joker 1, but honestly, what they did with it in the end,
Joker 2,
and it actually doubled down on everyone's criticism of that movie.
Yep.
That second movie needed to be a Joker movie. It needed to be him in the makeup, full on, all the way through the movie, causing fucking chaos. He escapes.
What do you think about Lanterns?
Do you know what? I actually like the way it looks in some ways.
I hate his suit, man. His suit looks so terrible.
Can I finish?
Yeah, go. Yeah.
I'm like, why isn't it in space? Why is it not a movie? Why is it all of it? It should be in space. He should have taken Jon Stewart, it's a training thing. They're fighting for Sinestro. They're doing all of that kind of stuff in space. I don't understand what the fuck it's
introduce the Lantern Corps. Introduce the yellow.
Yeah. It looks. I think this is what I genuinely think. I think it's actually going to be good in the sense of it's going to be a good story. It's going to be well directed. It's going to be well acted. I like the actor who plays Hal Jordan a lot. Actually, I think he's quite a good actor. He's in that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. He was really great in it. Wolf of Wall Street. He's a solid actor. So I think he's going to act well as Hal Jordan. I think all of it's going to be good. But I'm going to be left thinking, where's the Green Lantern in this? Do you know what I mean? Do you know, where it's genuinely entertaining, but you're like, there's no Green Lantern in this. He hasn't used his power ring for 5 episodes. What is going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some people are gonna be hyperbolic and be like, oh, it's just trash. Do you know what I mean? And it's absolute shit.
Yeah. It's a black dude, blah blah blah. You like the whole those idiots. Yeah. The woke shit. Because I'm genuinely interested in Hal Jordan training Jon Stewart. I'm genuinely interested in that dynamic, right? But I agree with you. Why is it on Earth? Why does the suit look so non-constructy? Why does it look I don't want Ryan Reynolds level of CGI, right? But the suit so bland and green. It looks like it's made out of it looks like it's made out of foam. It looks like it's made out of foam. It looks like cosplay. It's just
Do you want me to hand you?
bad.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want me to hand you proof I'm a DC fanboy? A DC
Oh,
fangirl?
yeah.
I have a soft spot in my heart for that Green Lantern movie. Even when you just said it just now, even when you said it just now, I was like, maybe I'll put that on
Look,
after we
there
finish
are
talking.
people, dude. Sinestro is a perfect casting for that film.
Yeah, it
like,
was good.
Although that's why he's so good in Shazam.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Shazam is maybe the best DCEU film that they put out during that era. It's the best film that they did.
I thought Shazam Fury of the Gods was even better, and I like Shazam a lot.
Well, you know why that was so good? It's because he self-sacrificed and he actually did what Superman should have done, but wasn't able to do. You know, because
I was genuinely tearful at the end where he was like, who are you? I'm Captain Every Power Junior.
Yeah, Every Power Junior. Yeah.
And because in the beginning of the movie, I was like, that joke is so fucking goofy MCU bullshit. And they actually brought it back where it was like, it actually saved the joke at the end. You know what I mean?
Kids. That's the point. They're children. That they're children. Like they're gonna say stupid jokes.
If somebody just read a Shazam comic, now I don't know if it was the filmmakers reading the Shazam comics or it was just a happy accident. But if somebody actually read the Shazam comics, which nobody does, unfortunately, they would realize that film is exactly the tone of Shazam. Like like every single thing that people criticized it about is like, and maybe people just don't like Shazam. Like in the end of the day, and
dude, it was
I find that goofiness like.
You know why, no?
Her beating the unicorns with the Skittles.
Yeah. Taste the rainbow. Yeah. Taste the rainbow, bitch. Yeah, all that sort of stuff. But like, dude, the issue with that film coming out at this time is because I remember the criticism, and it was from the Steiner Bros, because they were like, it's an MCU, it's too MCU-y, it's too jokey, it's too lighthearted. I'm like, did we forget that superheroes are supposed to be, some of them aren't all they're not all Batman. They're all fucking depressed middle-aged men that wear a bat mask and beat up on criminals. They actually have hope, and they actually have strive to be better than themselves.
They're always jaded. No, absolutely. I'm fed up with that. And in that sense, the Supergirl thing does, I can see what you're saying. I feel it justifies it within the movie to some extent, but like in that sense, I'm completely fed up with all these jaded. I don't want to be a superhero. Oh, it's so mad. When it's Batman,
I wouldn't have a problem with the movie.
I like it when
at the end,
Batman. But that's what I like about that's why I like the Captain America movies out of all of the MCU movies, because Captain America wants to be a fucking hero. Do you know what I mean? Like, enough of this fucking even the first Captain America, which I wasn't in love with because of
it's still good. It's still good, man. It's good
because they ruined Red Skull. But I was like, you know what? He wants to be a hero, and it's the same with Wonder Woman. That Wonder Woman movie. That's why it touched me so much. She was like, no, let's go and save the people. We've got to save a horse. We've got to save this.
Dude, I'm not. It's very rare. Hang on. I'll tell you something. It's very rare that I actually tear up in the cinema. And that moment when she went over the wall and just started to go into the gunfire, I got emotional in that moment.
Right, exactly, man.
Because it wasn't like, oh, I'm a woman, I feel like I'm represented on screen. No, it's because a hero was doing something heroic.
Period. Yeah. And they dealt with sexual politics so well in that movie. And then completely.
And then they had her like molesting a stranger that she saw, like with a surrogate for her lover, like.
Yeah, I really didn't understand the choices they made in 1984. I can't fathom how that movie happened.
It's so bad. And she wears the golden armor at the end, and it pulls the wings off.
Layup. All they had to do is work on the flaws of the first movie and just improve them. Good villain, more epic action. and you know, similar vibe to the first one. I don't know where they went wrong. It really, like,
it was everything. That was a perfect garbage fire, dumpster fire.
It was,
but I feel like Supergirl's this dude. I think Supergirl's the same as Wonder Woman 84. I think it's a perfect dumpster fire. I think it is.
Because you're not going to tell me it's as bad as not Wonder Woman 84. Please.
No, I didn't. But what I will say is that it suffers from the same issues. It suffers from the same issues almost. Editing, screenwriting, scripting. And I'll say something too. It's like you can say, like you said earlier, oh, I'm sick of the angsty. I don't want to be a hero, superheroes, right? That's fair. If Kara, by the end of this film, had not taken revenge, which she doesn't in the comics, right? She evolves. That's how she knows she evolves. She wants vengeance the entire time. By the way, and you know what's funny? You know what's funny, no man? What's funny about the comic?
Superman, I think.
Do you know what's funny about the comic is? Do you know what the funny thing about the comic is? In the comic, Crypto is actually with a vet. He's not poisoned anymore. She literally says to Krem in the comic, he's like, oh, I've still got the antidote for your dog. She's like, nah, he's been in the vet. I just use that as an excuse to hunt you down. She's fine. Because she wanted vengeance. And at the end, she didn't take it. She chose to put him in the Phantom Zone and said, that's the character evolution of Kara and Woman of Tomorrow. And we don't get that in this movie. That's the biggest issue of this movie. We end where we started. Angsty superhero, Supergirl. There's no evolution of her character at all. In fact, it's a de-evolution because she kills him at the end, she says, don't take vengeance. She says it like 4 or 5 times in this movie, right? To this little girl.
And that's why it's interesting that she kills him.
Then at the end, she kills him instead. So she goes against her own morals. It's not interesting. That's dumb.
States what she believes, and then she realizes at the end that she can't live by those standards. But she wants to shield.
That's not explained. That's not explained either.
That's why she tells the girl to go. You can't just lay it. What you want her to say, all of her motivations.
Well, they put exposition. They expedite. Dude, they do exposition of the. Dude, they do exposition of the entire film anyway. There's so many exposition scenes in this film where they just tell you what's happening.
The dialogue was fairly okay. I didn't find it too exposition-y at all. Like, to be honest, but that being said, you know, I do see where you're coming from, and I'm glad that yours is coming from a critique of the film. That's what I'm happy with what you're saying. Yours is coming from it's not like cultural critique. It's not like, who cares, this movie offends me as a man, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
blah,
I think the whole like sex slave trafficking thing is a weird choice. It's a weird choice.
It's a weird choice, certainly.
I don't understand it. I don't know why they did it, and I don't know. It didn't pay off in any way.
Yeah, but if you're offended as a man, are you a sex trafficker? Are you an abuser?
I'm not offended as a man by it. I think it's just a strange choice.
I'm not talking about
and spending 45 minutes on that planet is also a really big waste of time. Yeah.
So, because what I'm saying is the only way to be offended by this as a man is if you're a sexist man, B a abusive man, or C a sex trafficker. If you are none of those 3 things, then there is nothing to be offended by, because you can criticize it as a choice in the movie, like, why are they like that?
Why did we spend 45 minutes on this planet? Yeah.
But I'm not offended by it. It wasn't attacking me. You know, as far as I'm concerned, unless the movie said all men are like that guy, right? Every single man is like that guy, then okay, we've got a problem. That is terrible. But it's like saying, oh, should women be offended? Should women be offended by that movie with Ben Affleck, where his girlfriend is
Gone Girl.
Gone Girl. Should women be offended by that? Should all women in the world be offended by that woman?
If you're offended by that as a woman, that means you're a sociopath, just like
that. Means you're a sociopathic woman who's, do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's a character who has bad traits.
I have a question for you. Why do they have to keep taking women? Can't they just have like a harem? Like, wouldn't
Sure,
20
sure.
women do where they can just breed them and use them on rotation?
Yeah, or
Why do they have
yeah,
to keep
every once
taking
in a while.
women?
I don't know. I think if you think about it, it will give you a headache, and it's kind of
It
stupid.
makes no
It's kind
sense.
of lame.
That's why this
It
movie,
was
dude. But
very
I'm saying,
it
if
was
you
very
think about it,
easy villainy. It was very easy villainy. Oh,
yeah,
person,
forgettable villain.
and it was also
Forgettable villain.
taken directly from Black Widow. Do you know what I mean? Like Black
Yeah,
Widow had
it's
already
stolen.
done that, and
Stolen.
it did it
Yeah.
way better. By the way, Black Widow is a way better movie than this.
Oh my god.
If
Black
you know
Widow,
what we
man.
should do? Fuck it. We should rank all the women superhero movies, but I can't do it right now because unless there's
You gotta
already a
go
list.
basis. Yep. Oh, there's a list already, is there?
I don't know if there is, unless they've
We can go all
already.
the way back. Is this a better Supergirl movie than the first Supergirl movie?
I
Yes, it
actually like
is.
the first Supergirl movie.
Oh my god. No, what is something's wrong with you? Something is wrong up there.
There's something wrong
You've
with me
now
with that
admitted
one.
to liking the first
That is a
Supergirl
weird
film
one. That is
and
a weird
Green
one.
Lantern. Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern. Even he knows that movie's shit. Like,
I like that first. I like what's her name as Supergirl as well. I thought she was really good in Supergirl.
She has the look of it, but that script, that movie, and it made like 17 million total box office or something crazy.
Yeah, it was
terrible box office for that movie.
I want to know, what was that ranking site we used to have? Maybe it has them. Because I honestly think for me, Supergirl's gonna rank pretty high. If I see all superhero
led movies that are girls,
female led,
because you've got. Are you gonna include Birds of Prey in that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the bottom of the list for me.
Supergirl.
That's the bottom of the list. I despise that movie.
Again, it's not even as bad as the Wonder Woman 84. I'm gonna keep it above.
Oh, that's true. They're yeah, Wonder Woman 84 is pretty low on the list.
Bad. It's gonna be pretty low.
Terrible movie. Do you know that scene where she jumps off the car and she grabs the two children? If you watch that scene, you can see that there are actually dolls in her arms when she's rolling. They didn't even bother to comp in any CG or anything to make them look like real children. It's just dolls rolling with her. It's that bad, dude. Rewatch that scene. You rewatch that scene.
Here we
go.
We've got
hilarious.
Now we'll see if it does have female-led superhero movies. We're gonna see now. All right. So let me stop sharing. Where are we? Okay. If it doesn't, then
TV series.
We might as well do this for old time's sake, huh? So female.
Oh my god.
How would I go female-led superhero movies? You think it would?
Yeah.
You think it will do that? Or do you think there's a better way of putting it?
I feel like that's close.
Or female superhero movies, maybe? Just female superhero movies.
Yeah, female superhero movies.
It doesn't look like it has it.
Superhero movie tier list.
Let me share the screen. Oh, I am sharing the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Female superhero movies. Perfect DC superhero. No.
There it is.
Where? Where did you see it?
Scroll up. Just scroll up to the right. Scroll up. Up. There at the top right. Was that female-led superhero movies?
Female-led superhero movies. There you go.
There you go.
Wow.
Doesn't have Supergirl the latest. Oh, I forgot that. I forgot.
But we could.
Catwoman exists.
We could.
I think it's missing Supergirl, but I feel like that Black Widow is recent.
Black Widow is
recent. Madam Web
was later than Black Widow. So where's Black Widow?
And
the Marvels were later than.
It's pretty easy to do this though. I didn't watch the
Okay,
Marvels, but I
so
knew that would be shit, so I
let's
didn't
see
watch it.
female superhero movies. So I'm gonna see the ones that are missing, and then we can rank it. And then I really have to go. So that we know the ones that are missing. So we have Kick-Ass does not count. I'm sorry. So
No.
So we have Wonder Woman, Black Widow, Ant-Man and the Wasp does not count. Captain Marvel, Kick-Ass does not count. Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad, no, that does not count. Wonder Woman 1984, Elektra, Supergirl, Catwoman, and I think that's it. So the ones we're missing are... Oh, and then what about Tank Girl? Tank Girl has to be there.
Yeah, Tank Girl, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, all right. So the ones we're really missing is Black Widow and... What was the other one? We said Black Widow
and Supergirl.
And Supergirl, yeah. Okay, so where do you want to start? And do this quickly.
It's pretty easy. Birds of Prey goes in D straight away for me.
All right, Birds of Prey goes in C for me.
Captain Marvel is absolutely.
So I'll put it in D for you just for the sake of it, because it's more of a D than a C for me. As I told you, my main issue with that movie was I don't know why it exists. That's why that was my main pointless movie. Like,
and also the end fight scene really irked me. Like these non-superpowered women who are like they're like 80 kilos or whatever, and they're lifting like 200 kilo dudes with muscles over their backs and flipping them. I'm like, they don't have any powers. What is this?
Carnival House bullshit.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was really bad.
Dumb. It
was very stupid.
Choreography. And they said that they got the guy from John Wick to do that. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Is this for real? Like, it was.
I don't believe him.
Choreography, terrible.
It's really actually. I feel like because a lot of these are going to go into D for me. So I feel like
I need another one. I need another level because there's got to. Add a row below. I'm sorry, because there's got to be a row lower than this.
Yeah, E. That's where Captain Marvel goes, my dude.
All right, so let's go on to Captain Marvel.
Hard. Actually, no, Captain Marvel's a D. It's a D because is it? Because look at the other movies, man.
Sorry, there's got to be a row below.
There's F tier is the lowest we'll go. Because there are other movies worse than that film, to be honest. It's
as you said it, I had to agree, but I cannot.
It's like, would I rewatch Captain Marvel over like Catwoman? Yes, I would.
She has to have an E, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Catwoman's an F tier, man. That's an F tier because I wouldn't watch that movie again ever.
That's where I was going with this.
Yeah,
I couldn't. That is awful. It's not even bad.
It's so bad.
You know what I mean? Fun to watch because it's bad.
Yeah, no, it's so bad it's good. Because Madam Web for me is a C tier because it's so bad it's good. I've rewatched that film because it's like it's what you should watch. They should teach it in film school on everything what not to do in a movie. Everything in that movie is wrong.
Madam Web.
Yeah, dude, they overdub the bad guy. They dub him over, and his mouth doesn't match like an old Asian movie. No, dude, no, put it up. It goes up. It's got to go up. Well, I'm gonna say it's C.
I think it's Catwoman level. Sorry, Madam Web was terrible.
It's so bad it's good, man. It's laughably funny.
That is the one of the worst offenders of. How can you not have Spider-Man in this movie? You've got Spider-Man dressed. It's like
that's why. It's so bad. It's a film. It's a film study on what not to do in a film. It's amazingly terrible.
I mean, yeah, it's
Morbius levels of just of
and
terribleness.
They take great actors and they just ruin their careers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm so sad that this guy from The Serpent was the villain in that movie.
Yeah,
he's such a fucking good actor. Have you seen that?
Yeah. They made
He did such a phenomenal job in The Serpent, and then they put him in this piece of trash movie. It's like, god damn,
dude. I'd rewatch it over Catwoman. So, and I'd rewatch it over Captain Marvel. So I'm going to put it in D tier. I think Madam Web.
I'm not gonna put Madam Web. I'll put it.
Okay, then you got to put an E. All right.
Yeah, I'll put it.
And you got to put it. You got to put it up before Captain Marvel because it's Captain Marvel's worse.
Captain Marvel's worse. It's a worse character. I'll give you that.
Are you an MCU shill? Are you being an MCU raccoon right now? Is that what you're doing? Are you shilling for the MCU?
Well, that's what I've always said about the MCU movies. They make mediocre to bad movies, just below mediocre, which is why everyone's like, oh wow, you know, because they're so consistent.
Dude, okay, I'll make an argument. Hang on, I'll make an argument. Madam Web is more entertaining as a bad film than Captain Marvel is as a trying to be good movie.
No. That was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, out of those two movies, right now, out of those two movies, what would you rewatch?
I'd watch Madam Web. You're right, but
thank you. Put it up. Put it up.
See the stupid Spider-Man.
Yes, exactly. It's so bad. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. Put it up. Put it up.
No,
You gotta put it higher than.
I'll put it higher than Captain Marvel, but that's the most I could do.
That's what you gotta do. Pop it over. There it is. Yeah.
All right. So can I get one thing out of the way? Where would you put Black Widow? I'd put it in A. I'd put it in A.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best of them there.
Yeah, I would put that in a solid A. I genuinely enjoyed that movie. I thought it was.
I don't know why people hated that movie so much. I liked the opening. I thought it was really emotionally. It got the audience involved, like the whole trafficking thing and all the rest of it. How they were snatched up as children to become spies, and the Red Room and all the stuff that happened in the Red Room to them to turn them into these mindless killing machines. Like I love that scene where she's like severing the nerve and she smashes her face into the thing to break her nose so that he doesn't have control over her and she can beat him up. I like that scene. People are like, it's cheesy. I liked it. I thought it was like, yeah, kick the crap out of this asshole. Like,
I loved that it was a callback to the Avengers. I thought they did a really good job. I don't know what. I think that my comments aren't being allowed to come on anymore for some reason. I think you have to have paid things. So if you're making comments, I want to answer them, but unfortunately I think you have to now pay StreamYard to see your comments or something like that. That's what it's saying to me. So yeah, I would put Black Widow in an A as well. Shall we go on to another less controversial one, which is Elektra. Let's do Elektra. I want to do
C tier. It's C tier.
You think C? I think D.
I'd watch it over any of those films that are down there.
I wouldn't watch it over Birds of Prey.
Even
Captain Marvel. To be honest,
it's a time before the MCU. It's a time before the MCU.
Pretty bad, dude. I'm sorry.
It is pretty bad, but at least it exists for a reason, dude. It expands on Daredevil lore. Like at least it exists for a reason. In the hand, that
Daredevil movie would be in the exact same place. I hate it. I hate the director's cut. I hate.
Can I just say something here?
It's bad.
Birds of Prey, right, has no reason to exist. Elektra at least did.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
You want to put it aside? Come on, pop it up.
No, I'm not putting it up. I'm not putting it up. No way. I'm not putting it above Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey is more entertaining. I mean, at least it's got Margot Robbie doing her thing. She's good at whatever her name is, you know. So, yo, dude, cool, man. What's good? Guys, Suicide Squad 2016 still plays. Yeah, my boy. All right.
No. Oh
So
no.
let's go on to Supergirl. Let's do Supergirl because I think we'll have a bit of an argument. I really like the score. I think Helen, what was that, Helen Slater or whatever her name
She's
is.
good.
I
She's in a
think
bad
she's
scripted
got like
movie.
a
She's like
really
Millie.
good charm about
She's stuck
her.
in a bad scripted movie. I don't think she's a bad
And I
actress.
think the movie is
It's dog shit. Don't try to defend it.
No, it's delightfully bad. I'm sorry. I
It's
really do think it's
terrible.
delightfully bad. It's so
Look, I'd watch it
silly.
above Catwoman. That's true, but I wouldn't watch it above Captain Marvel.
I would give it a
No.
genuinely, I would give it a C minus. That's my truth.
Well, I'm putting it in E, which means it has to drop to D.
Okay, it has to drop to D. Fair enough. Yeah. And I understand it. I understand it. I think what it was is when I was a kid, I like it's Z tier. He says it's
it's terrible. It is, dude. If you rewatch that movie, it's worse than Superman 4, and that says something.
No. It's not worse than Superman 4.
It's way worse than 4. At least 4 had, dude. At least Christopher Reeves is in Superman 4.
Yeah, but she's good in it. She's not bad as Supergirl. It should have had Superman in it.
He laser eyes and rebuilds a wall, man. Come on.
That movie. Admit if it had Superman in the end,
Christopher Reeves in it,
yeah, Christopher Reeves, that would have improved that movie a lot.
I know, but you know what he did?
I think it has a certain nostalgic charm. And when I watched it as a kid, I didn't realize Superman 3 was a bad movie. I didn't realize Supergirl 3 was a bad movie. I was just watching it as a kid, just like, I love Superman. I love everything to do with Superman. And the only time where I was like, wait a second, this movie's gash, even as a kid, right? Even when I was 8 or whatever years old when I saw it, was Superman 4. That was the first one where I was like, wow, this is actually bad.
But you know why Christopher Reeves wasn't in that movie, man, in Supergirl? Because he made the decision that Gal Gadot should have made when Wonder Woman 84 came across her desk and said, nah, this is a terrible script. And he decided not to be in it. That's what happened. We all know it's true. He was like, I'm good.
People who say
that is true.
Good are generally just feeling sorry for it and lowered their expectations. No, I was a kid when I watched it. Come on, man. When you watch anything as a kid, unless it's
everything's so good
horrible.
As a kid. Yeah.
Unless it's horrible, you don't notice. Like the only 2 or 3 movies I didn't like when I was growing up. I liked every movie basically growing up. The only movies I remember being like, wow, I fucking hate this movie when I was a kid was Batman and Robin. And even Superman 4, I didn't hate it. I was just like, wow, this is a drop in quality. Like I noticed a massive drop in quality. But Batman and Robin was the first movie I remember, especially a superhero content. Like I was all Adam West, everything, like anything superheroes. Like I was like, yeah, this is great. When I was a kid. So I don't know, it took me till it may have been I liked the Captain America movie when I was younger, the older one.
Oh my god.
I really liked that one when I was younger.
Oh my god.
I hated the Fantastic Four. So that I remember watching the Fantastic Four movie and thinking that is not good.
Wow, that's some.
So these were the only 2. Every other movie, I think I only got jaded when the X-Men came out. That was when I started to become jaded.
Wait. X-Men 1, 2, or 3?
X-Men 1. I was like,
really? Nah, see, X-Men 2, I really like X-Men 2 as a film, but and as a superhero film. But when they did X3 and they literally killed Scott, I hate Cyclops, by the way, as a character. I despise him as a character. I think he's a retard. But anyway, I hate him, right? But killing him at the start of that film was sacrilegious. Then killing Xavier, I remember sitting in the cinema when that happened and going, I hate this movie.
Yeah.
It was the first time I remember it. It's the first time I literally walked out of a cinema and was like, I legitimately hate this movie. It was the first time I felt that about a film, and it was X3. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't surprise me either, but like I was out from X1. So I thought X2 was a bit of an improvement, but I just was like,
X2 was
because
amazing.
you have to understand, my problem was I didn't have Gambit and I didn't have Rogue. Like they put Rogue in the movie, but that wasn't Rogue, and then they didn't put my boy Gambit in, and I was just like,
that's true, man. Gambit is my boy too. I love Gambit.
And you can't even make the excuse like, oh, they were trying to do the original X-Men, because then Wolverine shouldn't have been
Gambit and Rogue were in the original X-Men before Wolverine
exactly.
was even
so
out.
you don't give me that excuse.
Dude,
like
Chimera's right. That Nightcrawler intro to X2 still holds up, man. You go watch that today, it still holds up. It is
the intro's fire, but so's the intro to X-Men 1. All of in fact, go down the line. Most of the intro to X-Men Apocalypse was actually like not that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Damn.
The
Don't mention these movies in front of me, man. Oh my God.
I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the intro, where you are introduced to what's happening to Apocalypse with all these little mutants that are protecting him.
Ancient Egypt or whatever. Yeah.
That was not that bad.
The intro like Days of Future Past, the intro to that was pretty good too.
Yeah. The intros to Days of Future Past, all the intros to the X-Men, you're like, oh, God damn, they've done it this time. And then you watch the movie.
No, X2 is the only one where they really succeeded,
it's the same thing. It's Wolverine with his fucking claws again. It's like
because the director loves him, man. Yeah, exactly. It's so dumb. That's why X2 shines, because they have all the different characters have their moments in that movie. And then it just becomes the Wolverine show after that.
And that's why I like X-Men First Class the best. Like, honestly, because it's
I agree, man. That movie is criminally underrated. And dude, the X-Men is made by Magneto and Xavier. And that scene where he helps him move the satellite dish with his emotions is beautiful. That is X-Men. That is perfection of those characters.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so we go on because we should finish this female ranking. All right. So let's go on to what I think is going to be the champ here. Wonder Woman.
That's S tier. S tier.
That's S tier. It's absolutely S tier for me as well. So we've got Black Widow in A, just so that we keep rank here. At Black Widow, we both agree is A. Wonder Woman, S tier. I really like that movie. I like it's not a perfect movie. I think its rewatchability is a bit hard, but I don't think that's the movie's fault. I think the great things about that movie are what make the rewatchability a bit harder, because once you've released that emotion and you see that scene, it's hard to get back to where you haven't seen it before, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's hard to get,
like Infinity War or Endgame, when they all come out of the circles. You can get the goosebumps every time with that scene. It's not the same as Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that sense, it's flawed. I don't love the villains. I think they did a trash job with the villains. And
Ares being the secret British villain. Yeah.
I just think everything.
How does he become Ares, man?
I don't know how there aren't more t-shirts.
He pulls iron to himself, shredded metal, to make his suit. Yeah. Wouldn't it have been cool if Ares just transformed into Ares? From the comic.
Why didn't they just make him
he shredded? He's a shredded metal man.
British man. They could have made him some cool. I remember they were talking about having the guy from Game of Thrones in it and shit. I'm like, there was a lot of shit that didn't really make sense. But all in all, I like that movie a lot, and I think they did a really good thing with the sexual politics. In that movie, and even the campaign for that movie, say what you want to about Gal Gadot, but she answered those questions in the right way when people asked her, is this a movie for women? No, it's a movie for everyone, blah, blah, blah.
Everyone.
You know what I mean? So And to be fair to the Supergirl person, I think they're going on a little bit harsh about like these random comments that she made.
She said one thing in one interview and they're making it this big deal out of it. And it's like, it's one interview. It's not like the chick that played Snow White going around going, men are, she doesn't need a man. She didn't know man. We changed the story. So she said it in multiple interviews. Millie said it one time when she was asked off the cuff. And by the way, she had been drinking at a party when she was asked that question. So let's all just take a back seat to this right now. Supergirl's problem is not Millie. Supergirl's problem is the script writer.
She's the best thing in that movie. I don't care what any you want to say. She's the absolute.
Lobo's the best thing in that movie, but she's a close second.
Acting is the best thing in that movie.
Jason Momoa is the best part of the film, but yeah.
I don't know, man. I think he just plays Jason Momoa. I think
no. Do you know anything about Lobo?
Not really. I don't really care for the character.
Yeah. So Lobo is he literally incarnates Lobo on screen. He is literally Lobo. It's amazing.
Dude, that's because Jason Momoa is kind of Lobo-ish. I've seen the character in
That's the point. That's why he's the perfect casting.
Yeah, so good for him. He's the perfect.
It's like Ryan Reynolds.
He didn't do anything
so
different.
let me do it this way. The comparison is.
Okay.
No, I'm saying as Ryan Reynolds embodies Deadpool, and no one can think of anyone to play Deadpool other than Ryan Reynolds right now. Lobo was like, it's like Jason Momoa was born to play Lobo. Ever since he was Aquaman, people were saying he should play Lobo. That's
good
that's
for them. I don't
back
care.
It
wasn't. I don't like the character that much. He's okay. I don't know what is the amazing thing about him.
He saves her. There is no Supergirl. She would have died.
That's cool. I like that. Like, he saved her. I'm not saying I disliked him in the movie. I just didn't think he's the second best thing in the movie. If you wanted me to give him that, it's the second best thing in the movie. That was the only letdown. He looked too human and not Ares. Like, yeah, absolutely. It was such a.
And then he turned into a shredded metal man. It was weird.
Okay, tell me what you think Ruthie is. A bitch? I don't know what you think, Ruthie.
Are we doing Supergirl now? Is that what we're talking about? Or?
Let's do, or should we? No, let's save Supergirl to last. So the Marvels, F
tier. F.
I don't even. Do we need to talk about it? It's just F tier.
No, 184 is easy F.
I'm gonna put it into E. Only because my friend Zoe Ashton plays the villain in it. And I want to do that for her. I'm sorry you chose that superhero movie to be in. Bad idea. If I could have been in contact with her, because she kind of like, when she became a bit famous, she like lost touch with us.
Did you call her an MCU raccoon? Is that what you said? You're an MCU
No. I would have just said, like, dude, like, well done and whatever, but like, you probably should have chosen a different franchise.
Yeah. You just picked. You went into the Marvel franchise while it was dying, and that.
Well, to be fair, she had to take that movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah. She got a payday. Good for her, man. She got a payday.
Ridiculous. No, because
good job.
She's not famous enough to not take that movie. But I would have thought her boyfriend, Tom Hiddleston, she should divorce him personally. Tom Hiddleston should have given her a better in. Do you know what I mean? Like even put her in fucking Loki, for fuck's sake. Like, do something like where it wouldn't completely torpedo her career. I don't like. She can't. I hope she does recover for it. Touch wood. Zoe Ashton becomes a massive star.
Oh, she'll go and do other stuff.
She's very, very talented, actually. But yeah, I just want to say, I'm ranking these movies off of if I would watch them over the other movies. That's how I'm ranking these films, right? So I watch Wonder Woman over any of these films. Secondly, I'd watch Black Widow over all of these films. Next, I'd watch Birds of Prey over any of these films. And after that is Supergirl 2026. That goes right between Elektra and Birds of Prey for me. Okay, well, let's do Wonder Woman 1984.
That's F tier, man. Everyone knows that's F tier.
It's
It's the worst movie on this list. I'd watch Catwoman over that film.
It's one of the worst superhero movies ever made.
Let me just say this, man. I would watch Catwoman over Wonder Woman 84, and there's only one reason, because Halle Berry is entitled spandex in that movie. That's the only reason why. That's it. And I can admit it. Every guy should be able to admit that.
I can't exactly disagree with you. And the movie is actually, funnily enough, the Catwoman movie is more coherent than that Wonder Woman. And I believe it's shorter. I might be wrong, but I believe it's a shorter movie.
Yeah. Well, man, it's really simple.
Wonder
Sharon
Woman
Stone
84
is making makeup that makes her skin really hard.
Beast.
And that's it.
No, it really is. It's a 2.5 hour beast that really thinks it's doing something that it just is not.
It doesn't do anything. And the crescendo really, where she's like, I can't reach him, but she just pushes really hard to get to him and touch him. Like, it's just, it makes no sense.
Yeah, I just and it upsets me more. Maybe I'm being harsher on it because it's a Wonder Woman movie. I don't know, because some people say like it's not the worst movie in the DCEU, and I think it's by like, dude. Again, remember how much I hate more than most. I hate Man of Steel. Man of Steel is a better movie than 1984.
Oh yeah, it is. It's a better made movie. It's not a Superman movie, but it's a movie.
BVS is a better movie than 1984. Okay, you'd have to go to Zack Snyder's zombie movie, or which I still think is probably
Chimera's got it there. Oh wait, I'd watch The Flash over 1984. I would.
Yeah, Flash is better than 1984.
And no, man, you know how much I hate Ezra Miller as the Flash. You know how much I hate him as the Flash. I hate the movement. I hate the entire idea of how he does the Flash. I hate Zack Snyder's direction of how he does the Flash.
Fair enough, but
I would watch the Flash over 1984. Yeah, 1984 is terrible.
At least the Batman scenes are cool. Yeah, I can't think of a movie in the DCEU that, like, really, it's just such a letdown, and it completely torpedoed Gal Gadot's career. It torpedoed Patty Jenkins.
It killed Wonder Woman.
What was she thinking?
Oh yeah, Patty Jenkins was lined up to do Star Wars shows and movies, and then she's gone now.
It went to her head, dude. Like, could you remember, like, Richard Donner? Richard Donner went to see her, said that you're my, like, whatever. And she, if she had made a good sequel, she would have been like in that consideration. Because she was like, oh, I don't want Wonder Woman to have a sword because she's peaceful and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, she was peaceful in the movie. She was all the things that you're trying to make her in the sequel. She was those things already. She was light. She was hopeful. She was heroic. She was, she wasn't like super violent. She, why did you need to change that? Why did you need to? Oh, now she's got to do it where she goes in a fight scene and she, like, instead of fighting, she's saving everyone. It's just, do you know what I mean? Like, do you remember that scene?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like,
I know what you're saying.
Come on, God, damn! Like, I know she likes to save people. Do that twice. You could do it twice. They weren't even in that much danger. Let's be real about it. She was just stopping them from getting their head bumped. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's a serious danger, like a life-threatening, I can understand her jumping in front of the way and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
I got a question for you. Just something I haven't been, actually, it's kind of a little bit off topic, but still in superhero movies. But it was only something I thought about the other day. So in Man of Steel,
super DCU movie, I don't think so, bro. I think that's Betty.
The other day, I saw a scene from the end of Man of Steel, and it's when Zod is trying to laser the people, right? And he's holding his head, and he's holding it to stop him from lasering them. Why doesn't Zod just look to the right with his eyes?
And laser them. There's so many things wrong with that scene. It's just constant, like it gives me a headache talking to people who try and justify that scene. It's like,
why did he just? He could just look. He could just literally look to the right and they're dead. Yeah. Like the laser eyes aren't straight. They're not straight. Our eyes move.
There's so many things that Zod does that's stupid. There's so many things Superman does that's stupid in that scene. It's like, and just, well, please, just why don't you just kill the guy in the beginning? Please, you can break his neck because people.
Yeah, no. Before the 9/11s happened, he could have just killed him. Yeah.
Just kill him. Like, if you don't care about killing him, like
I took one family at the end, man. Lasering that family at the end.
Watched this whole excessive destruction.
The dubstep machine.
I wanted to see how Superman was going to figure out how to do this without killing this guy, and then he just breaks his neck. And just go, I want you to travel back to that time.
I hate that movie. There are parts of the movie that are so great, right? Yeah. I agree with you, man. There are parts of the movie that are great, right? The score, the first flight scene is great, right? It's elevating. But then there are such bad parts that bring that movie down so far. The worst parts are the worst parts of the movie. Like, they truly bring down the great parts.
They're the worst parts of the DCU. They're not just the worst parts.
That's true too. Dude, what they do to Kent in that film is irredeemable. It's irredeemable what they do to Kent.
He should have been arrested. He should have been arrested and taken to the. But I want you to travel back to that time, right? Just travel back to when you're watching that in the cinema, and he breaks his neck.
remember. Yeah,
I remember thinking the first thing: can you kill a Kryptonian like that? Because I didn't think you could kill a Kryptonian like that. Like,
that was in the yellow sun. How can he do it?
Break his neck? I didn't even know that was possible.
Because Doomsday comes close to killing Superman, but all it does is put him in a hibernation sleep, remember? Like, he just knocks him out, basically, and he has to be charged by the sun to get back to what he was. He's not actually dead. He's just in hibernation or whatever because he gets the shit kicked out of him by Doomsday.
The sun's shining on him, so it's just going to, his neck is going to just heal or so. I don't know. It was just these two indestructible men just fighting,
just destroying the city with each other.
Like, just fighting each other. Are the punches hurting? Does he like? Is he getting a black eye? Is there any sense in which? And that's what I liked about the Shazam movies. You saw like, oh, Billy gets a bleeding nose, so you know that this isn't just like two indestructible beings, like. Hitting and Billy can seriously be hurt by this guy, right? So
what's magic on magic?
Magic on magic. They establish it so that you actually think, oh, there's some stakes. And
that's how they do it in Superman. It's Superman 2, where Zod comes, right? Like that's how they do it to him. He doesn't kill him. He puts him in the Phantom Zone. That's what Superman does with people that he doesn't want to kill or are unkillable to him. He puts them in the Phantom Zone. Like, they could have done that in Man of Steel. They could have used the dubstep machine to put him in the Phantom Zone. Yeah.
It was terrible. It was terrible. To be fair to the movie, even if Superman hadn't have killed him, it wouldn't really have improved that movie significantly.
The Kent stuff is irredeemable in that film.
It's just so bad.
Maybe you should have let a bus full of children die, Clark. Maybe you should have. That's just irredeemable. Irredeemable writing. Like,
it makes no sense.
That's the part, dude. That's the part I take away.
Let me die.
The slow-mo scene where they're on top of the roof and he flies in like Jesus. I'm like, bro, he would fly in there, grab them and go away with them really quick because they're about to get swept away in a current. Why is he standing there to do some aura farm? It's so stupid. It's all flash and no substance. That's the problem with that movie. And that's the problem with Zack Snyder as a director in general. He has flash and no substance. That's his issue.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go on to Supergirl. Where are we ranking her? Because I would rank it. Where did I rank? I ranked this
Black Widow as
A. I rank it as B, dude. I'm sorry. I'd rank it as B. I'd rather watch Black Widow. I'd rather watch Wonder Woman, but I'd rank it as B.
Yeah, no. So I already told you I'd watch Birds of Prey over that film. Again, just because I think Birds of Prey, because of Ewan McGregor, get on the table. He's more entertaining to me than that entire Supergirl movie combined together. That is such a bore to watch that film. It felt like a chore watching that film. So I am gonna say it's probably E for me.
Chimera agrees with you. Z tier for me. He says, I'm gonna put it in C. I will put it in C.
You said that you said it was A next to Black Widow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said E. Oh yeah,
no. I said
okay,
B,
that's fair.
B.
Oh, then it's gonna be in D, man, because I was saying E.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, then it's in the D. Right, in the D.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Our whole entire ranking of all female superhero-led movies.
That's actually true. What he's saying is actually true. It felt like the MCU Phase 5 MCU movie. Yes, true. It was all dark and bitter.
But a better Phase 5 MCU movie in my imagination. Like I think there's a few films I would say that are like clearly better.
Wait, did you like Guardians 3, Nerdman?
I thought it was all right. When I look back at it,
I
haven't watched it again because I don't ever feel like watching the card because I don't care about those characters. But nothing that they've shown me has ever made me care about the Guardians. To be honest, I just think they're snarky and cynical and just bullshit. To be honest.
Wait, so you didn't feel emotion when you saw Rocket past his history?
The raccoon or whatever, the little rat.
Rocket. Yeah.
I liked all his scenes in Guardians 3. Those were the best scenes. The scenes with the villain. The villain was very
he was
good,
great.
And the raccoon was good. So that part of the movie I liked. The rest of it, I didn't really care for. But when I came out of the cinema, I was like more focused on that storyline and how heartfelt that storyline was. So I think I overrated it a bit, to be honest.
Well, maybe it just touched your heartstrings and you rated it fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. So I felt those scenes. I really did, and I did like the end needle drop. I thought the last needle drop was pretty fucking sick. So I would put Guardians 3 as the best Guardians movie, then Guardians 1, and last Guardians 2. In terms of my enjoyment of the three movies, but.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably true. I think Guardians 1 has a special place for me because that movie is my most rewatched MCU film, besides Captain America: Winter Soldier. So,
I've got the Captain America movies like way high, and then Iron Man, and then maybe Black Panther 1, but it's way lower than Iron Man. The Black Panther one.
Yeah, Black Panther. It
really drops. No, the Avengers. Sorry, I forgot the Avengers.
The third act
really
of Black Panthers. That's
that
a good
whole Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange.
God, Shang-Chi, man. Shang-Chi.
All of that.
Just remember, I want everyone to remember on this very stream. It was on Nerdman's stream. I was here. I was witness it. I was on screen, and it was when the Pickle Man literally said that Shang-Chi was going to make $1 billion.
Mr. Pickles. All right. I do have to bounce now, but it's been lovely catching up, dude. And it's good. Again, I always respect people who, if their opinion is, developed from the movie, from what they saw, and they have critiques of the movie, fine. And I actually think some of your critiques were fine. I wasn't as sensitive to those particular aspects of the movie, and maybe because I had such a low expectation. But my general impression is this movie was not good enough. The script was not good enough for all of James Gunn's admiration. Like, what was it? He was basically like, "Oh, we are not green lighting any movie until the script."
Yes, those words are going to haunt him, man, forever.
this
They're
script
gonna
was
horn him forever. This script is terrible. What is he thinking?
It's not terrible. It's not terrible, but it's not it either. It's not a game changer. And you need a game changer. If you're gonna put Supergirl as the main star of a fucking movie in 2026, because this shit should have been done way before, when superheroes were all the fucking, like, everyone was like, bang, I wanted to see the new superhero movie. You know, that Dark Knight, Avengers, that kind of era, right, where it was like everyone wanted to see superhero movies. That's when these kind of movies should have come out, because they would have had a chance in the box office. Not now. You can't make average movies like this, like a little bit above average, whatever, for me, a little bit lower, or much lower than average for you. But
it's not even that. It's the same thing as like Brave New World, man.
That. These
this movie is,
you need solid IPs, like especially for DC, to rehabilitate its image, and this is not what they should have gone for.
Look, I'm going to agree with you in a way. I think this is similar to Brave New World. It's like a movie that was unnecessary, that no one cared about, that no one was going to go watch. And when they did watch it, they were disappointed in it because it didn't have the things that they wanted in the movie. And this is the same issue with Brave New World. When I went to see that movie, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this film. I'm going to give it a chance. I went in, they repeated the story 3 times, like literally had the main character explain the plot of the villain 3 separate times to the audience. And then they had him fight the Red Hulk at the end, a human, not super soldier, fighting the Red Hulk at the end. I don't care what armor he's in. There is such thing as physics in this universe, and it just didn't make sense. Like, and that's the thing with like Supergirl, didn't make sense, and it felt unnecessary. It felt like this movie. Why is this movie existing for? Like, and I think that's the greatest similarity between these movies is, why did this movie get greenlit? Who is this movie for? And it feels like even the women, I've watched so many female reviewers today of this movie, and they're all saying the same thing as me. They're not attacking Millie. They're attacking the script. They're attacking like the Woman of Tomorrow, like adaptation. They're attacking these things. Like, this movie wasn't made for me. This movie was made for everyone. Why is this movie being greenlit? No one wants this movie. Not even the women want this movie. And it's like,
I don't know what James Gunn was thinking. Making this the second movie. It's a high risk at best.
And no reward. And now we've got Clayface next, which has got no Batman in it whatsoever. It's just a horror movie. What's the point of this movie? It feels like an Elseworlds movie as well.
Yeah,
it's
like,
got no interconnective tissue.
What are we doing here, dude? Like,
Brave and the Bold is after that, right?
No, I think they're doing Wonder Woman next.
Wonder Woman, then Brave and the Bold, yeah. But I'm like, they haven't casted Batman yet.
Which is what they to me, I think if they wanted to make a really bold statement, they should have put Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman out in 1 year. Just the trilogy, but really great and connected, like with little things, like little what's it called? The post-credit scenes after connecting them.
Interconnected. Well, it's the same thing as what Marvel did when they first did Captain America.
They could have marketed it as the Trinity. Put maybe Superman out in Christmas. Maybe Batman at Christmas. Batman is more wintry. Build up to Batman. Do you know what I mean? And then
they got this other Matt Reeves, the Batman 2 coming out, man. That has nothing to do with this universe.
Come out like next year or 2027. But like, if they had have done in fact, that's it. It's an excellent idea. You put Superman first, kind of spring, then Wonder Woman. Give it a little bit like kind of midsummer, and in the Superman and the Wonder Woman movie, you have little post-credit scenes for what the new Batman is going to be, right? Like, don't show the costume, don't show anything, like keep people being like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Do you know what I mean? And then just little teases, like in those movies, and then you drop the Batman like during Christmas, like winter movie, bro. that would have been a bold, DCU beginning. Like, we're back and we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a Trinity. Like, yeah. Get the Trinity sorted.
Yeah. But that's just me. That's what I would, I don't know.
Yeah, and then they got like the thing is, they got this Lantern show as well. Does that connect to Gal Gardner? Like, does it connect to Superman 25? Like, I don't know, man. Like,
we'll see.
It's like it just feels like they're all very separate universes.
Show. I really am. I'm more excited for that than I was for Supergirl. But and to be fair to him, I don't think a Lantern movie would have done well either. I know a lot of it, I think, is to do with like things that are, because a lot of movies are bombing, and it's oil prices, it's how people feel about America.
Yeah, people don't want it. Yeah. People, it's like, say there's 3 releases 1 week or in like 2 weeks, people are going to pick one movie to go see at the cinema. Like, and right. And it's like, it's a shame, because Master of the Universe is actually a really fun film as well. Even if you don't like, even if you're not familiar with the cartoon from the 80s, it's actually, dude, that guy that directed that film, that's who they need to, the MCU needs that guy to come direct a movie. The DCU needs that guy to come direct a movie. Someone needs to tap him on the shoulder, one of these companies, and go, hey, can you direct the movie for me? Because he takes everything that's good about fantastical, like comic cartoons, and puts it into a movie, and you don't think it's going to be good, but it works. It works. And it's like, it's got good comedy, it's got good action.
Beginning, I wasn't. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again. Fuck it, I'm gonna watch it again. All right, I have to leave. Got about work tomorrow, and other crazy shit. But really lovely talking to you again, man. And
good talking to you,
out, man. Guys. And anybody watching, what is it? I love you 3000.
Yeah, love you 3000. That's what you say. We're doing,
Anyway, these dudes. Dude,